So as the new CEO, I'm really excited to be here. I have been doing housing and homeless services for over 20 years. And coming here really truly felt like a homecoming to me. So both Mercy and my sister's place have been in this community for almost 40 years at this point between both organizations. And the premise of the organizations really has been to fulfill basic needs. So thinking about a Maslow's hierarchy of needs, when you think about that pyramid, thinking about those things that we need, food, clothing, shelter, and safety, that's where we focus on as an organization. We find the gaps in the community and we fill those gaps. And so in order for people to progress, to do better for themselves, to do better for their families and their children, what we really want to focus on is making sure that they have that security and that stability so that they can start moving and growing in a direction that helps them benefit. People who are homeless today are up against a variety of different barriers. So trying to find housing or a job when people are losing their jobs or when service industry jobs are not hiring right now, it's difficult. It's hard for people to get back on their feet by themselves. So we're seeing an increase in those who need assistance with security deposit, first month's rent, food. We've also lost a tremendous amount of volunteers through this process who used to bring food into Friendship Center, and so we've seen our food costs dramatically increase, both because we're missing our volunteers, but also because we're seeing an increase in need. So we miss our volunteers. Our volunteers used to provide lots of meals that they would prepare and bring in that we were then able to distribute within the community. So because our volunteers can't come in right now due to COVID, we're really looking for either folks to drop meals off or to make monetary donations. We're really looking for people to give right now. We look at housing as a right, and we want to make sure that people can succeed. And thinking about housing, my background is in public health, and so people don't necessarily make the connection between housing and public health, but housing is a social determinant of health. So, for example, if you are homeless, do you have access to medication? Do you have access to health care? Do you have access to a phone or clothes so you can get a job? So really, thinking about how hard it is to just meet basic needs when you have nowhere to live. It's beyond just those things, but it's also medical care. We've seen people who've vastly improved once they were housed. They were able to work with their behavioral health issues. They were able to find employment and maintain the employment because they knew their housing was secure. Their kids did better in school. So we do work with a lot of homeless families, and what we try and do when we're working with our homeless families is work with the family as a whole. So stereotypically, people think of the homeless person as somebody who's pushing the shopping cart down the street full of cans. We have some of that. But when we think about homeless families, we don't think about families, living in their car in the middle of the winter, but that happens here. And thinking about the stability that the children need in their lives with their housing. How can you be successful in school if you're hungry, if you have nowhere to live? And so when we work with the family, we work holistically. We work with mom and dad, we work with extended family, but we also work with the kids, and we focus on those youth services so that there is a connection between the school and the parents, and the services that we provide so that those children can do better in school and, eventually better in life.